Welcome folks, R30Hedron here, and I am starting this episode of this Let's Play with good news. Steam Summer Sale has started. It's the third one, so apparently Valve can count to 3, funnily enough. And SpaceChem is currently, right now as I'm recording, on sale for only about $3. Mind you, it's one of those quick sales. It's only going to be sold for the next 7.5 hours or so. So 8 o'clock Pacific, and I think something like, let me see if I can do the numbers in my head. All I know is that 8 o'clock Pacific time is when that deal will end. So if you are interested in playing SpaceChem, go get it. Go get ahead and get it now. I would suggest. Either way, though, I also got the DLC for like 50 cents. Really, really cheap. Which is nice. So, now back to what we were originally going to do. We're off to Alkonost, which is a planet where we start to learn about sensors. Now, I will admit, due to a bit of background noise, I had to scrap my last recording, but everything seems fine anyways. So, we're off to this level, where we've got neon and argon coming out of the alpha input about 50% of the time, so once in a while it'll be neon, next time it'll be argon, then it could be argon again, then neon, sort of a 50-50 chance, and we need to basically sort that into neon in the psi, and argon in the omega. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to do it with this fellow. It's a sensor. When we have a molecule, well, let's start with the basics. We want to input, grab. Right, we always want to do that. Then we have this symbol. And cue the lag as we go to the periodic table elements. Basically what we can do is we can change the trigger element, like I just did, to neon. And then you can change the direction. And then whenever that atom, the neon atom, is on this sensor bonder thing, then this will trigger and the Waldo will go this way. Otherwise, it'll just keep going. There. And since we know that if it's not neon, at least for this puzzle, then it has to be argon, then we just take it over to here, to the omega. Like so. And that should do it. Oop, went too fast. Let's try that again. So grabs the argon, drops it there. There's another argon, drops it there. There's another argon, drops it there. There's a neon, so it drops it there. Neon, drop. Neon. I swear it's random. It's supposed to be. There we go. Now it's starting to be a bit more like it. There we go. And it just does this till we run out of atoms. Like so. Not too bad. The dotted line is the one I just did. So I used half the symbols and did it in more cycles. Last time I tried it, I ended up doing it with... what did I do it with? I ended up doing it with both Waldos, but meh. Now we've got this one, where we've got oxygen and 2 oxygens coming out of the alpha inputs at a random 50% interval, so that we have to convert to just straight oxygen. So, how do we do this? Well, we use sensor, I think. So we're going to do this. So we're going to do in grab, like so. Looks good. So what we're going to do actually, we don't really need to do much of anything for this. I'm going to completely disregard the sensor for this level. What we're going to do is we're going to grab either of the oxygens, whether it's one or not. We're going to drop it here. We're going to debond just in case. So I have... and then another debond. On that way, we'll debond once, drop, debond twice, and output. Let's see if that does what I want it to do. So input, there's a diatomic oxygen. Debonds once, drops, debonds twice, outputs both. In grab, which is another diatomic oxygen. And another. Thought this was supposed to be random, but okay. There we go. A normal oxygen. Debonds, nothing to debond. Drops, nothing to debond. Outputs. Not too bad. And there we go. Pretty low cycles, symbols, not too bad. And now we're off to random oxides. Oh boy. This is going to give me some trouble, if I remember correctly. What is it that we need to do? Well, we need to get oxygen and a 50-50 zinc titanium and convert it to titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. Oh boy. Let's see if I'm actually able to remember how in the world I'm supposed to do this and to do it nicely. We are going to need the sensor. So I think I'm going to do this. Let's do something like this. Alright. So we want to go input beta and grab. Then we'll want to input A. Meanwhile, this fellow will be our bonder. So we'll have two oxygens there. Then what we want to do is that. Where if this is zinc, then we want to take it directly back to... Is that what I want to do? Yes. If it's a zinc, then I want to take it over to here and output to omega and go for the next loop. If it's not zinc, then it's titanium, and we'll want to rotate twice if it lets me. So let's do something like that. So that'll rotate it twice. And upon doing so, we are going to rotate it once. Okay, I've changed my mind again. If we rotate it once, then I was trying to get it so it was in a line. Don't have to be. Doesn't have to be in a link. So, in, bond, bond. It's not zinc, so it rotates. Bond, bond. Nope, that didn't do what I wanted it to do at all. I want to rotate the other direction, and then we can stick this fellow in. We know that if this guy is oxygen, then it will have already gone through once, and we can drop output and do that. Look good? I think it actually looks okay. So here's the first titanium. Bond, bond. Rotate. Bond, bond. It's an oxygen, so it just goes on by, because we already know we had an oxygen there. Then we do another titanium because of the way that... I think the randomness depends on the operating system. So if you have a Windows 7, this is the output it's going to be doing every single time, which bugs me. So there's another titanium. Yes, we know that it works. It went through once, we don't have to go through it again. But oh well. Now we'll have a zinc. Bond, bond. We know it's zinc, so it'll go down. And drop there. Output, and there's our first zinc. Not too bad. And I did that in very few symbols. Nice. I'm pleased with that. I didn't think I was going to do it that easily. And now we're off to production levels. Oh boy. And there's a bit of the storyline. Guy gets a bad headache. And now we've got this one. We've got 3 sensor reactors to deal with. And we need to create nitric oxide. How do I want to do this? Oh, and here's what I mean about the atmosphere. 25% nitrogen, 75% oxygen. Yeah, that's opposite of what it is on Earth. Earth has 75% nitrogen and 25% oxygen. Give or take a couple of percentage points. Basically, if you try to go into this atmosphere, you're going to hyperventilate. But, either that or asphyxiate. I don't know which one it is. One of the two. But we need to make nitric oxide. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to do 2 reactors. What I want to do is try to get that set up correctly. Maybe a 3rd one just to be safe. This pipe will go straight up to here. Like so. Then the oxygen pipe will do something like this. So far so good? Yes. So how are we going to do that? What are we going to do with this? Well, we're going to have oxygen, normal plain Jane oxygen, go through here. And normal nitrogen to go through here. Then what we're going to do is use a sensor. So we'll input one, we'll use a sink, as always. Like so. So we'll input one of the molecules, we'll grab the molecule, as will this fellow. Then we'll do a loop. And misplace the directions. There we go. So what that will do is that we'll have both of them going down this direction. Now we're going to debond, debond, debond. Like so. Now, by this point, we'll still have a Waldo grabbing a nitrogen or oxygen here, likewise with the Waldo here. Once we hit this point, we are going to check to see going to change this Waldo to blue, change this back to red. And we're going to change the trigger element for this one to oxygen. And misplace the directions again. We're going to drop, sync, then like so. Then this Waldo will drop and out. Shift this down. So So what this will do is that if it's an oxygen, it's going to ferry those oxygens to here. Now, if it's a nitrogen, that means the opposite. That means that we'll need to go down. Like so. And while I'm at it, I'm going to shift this over again. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do this. I'm trying to get it so that there's not going to be any pipe clogs, which inevitably there will be. But I'm trying to mitigate that, so I'll have 6 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That looks not quite right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, which is 3 times 6, which means everything should work. Now on that note, we are going to put another sink. So the blue Waldo will drop and output to Omega, and once it hits here it'll be synced, which then the red Waldo will drop, output, and so on, dropping the nitrogen into that spot. Let's see if this does what I want it to do. So there's an oxygen, bond, 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 bang, bang, then they go on to the next oxygen, ding, ding, nitrogen, ding, ding, and then back to oxygen. So that seems to work the way I want it to. Now we move on to this one, where we have to combine oxygen and nitrogen. Not too difficult, I think. We're going to be using a lot of the recycler, I'm afraid. That's just how things are going to have to go. So, this Waldo... How do I want to do this part now? Oh, I know how it's going to go. I know how it's going to go. This fellow's going to input A and grab. There. Then it's going to bond. Correction, it's going to bond there. Input a beta. So it'll be oxygen, nitrogen. Bond twice. Then bring up to here. That should do it. So waits for the oxygen. Waits for the nitrogen. Bonds twice. Drops out. Then we wait for the next one. Now, I've got my doubts about this one. This could clog based on the randomness of this, so this might only work in certain operating systems, which is a bit of a disadvantage. Yeah, that clogged. And as soon as it clogs, there's no more nitrogens coming through. So that means that we need to do this. Bond. Bond. And we're going to need to use this blue Waldo to start doing some things. trying to think of how many sinks I'm going to actually need. I'm going to need a large number of sinks, let's put it that way. 5 should do it. So, input alpha grab. Drop. Out. Simple as that. So this will recycle every 2 oxygens, so that we keep the right drop out. Then we'll send out the next one. That's the second oxygen that it sends out, and at this point we should be good. No, we're not. We have one too many sinks. That should do it. No, it won't. How do I want to do this? Alright, I think I know how I'm going to do this. Like so. So the first oxygen goes through, second oxygen goes through, third oxygen goes through. That is one too many sinks. So that means I can move these back down. What I'm trying to do is that the first oxygen goes towards the nitric oxide. The second and the third goes to the recycler, because we don't need that many oxygens. So this should do it. This will also remove clogs in the pipe. First, second, and we're golden. I think this should, I hope, do what it wants to do. If there's still any clogs, that's because that we can't keep up with the nitrogen and the oxygen inputs. I think this is working. Let's see if it does work. As soon as we hit 10, I'm going to speed things up a bit. There we go. There's 10. Okay, we did get through. We did get through before it clogged, which is good. We used 2 reactors, as many of us do. Peak number of symbols. So I think I did roughly what everyone else did. It's not too bad. Yeah, I'm way over time. So, on that note, thank you very much for watching, folks. This has been the end of episode 3 of my Let's Play of SpaceChem. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any feedback, please give me some in the comments. And also, if you are interested in getting SpaceChem, go onto Steam and buy it. It is only about $3 today, until the end. Well, until the end of today. It's one of those quick things, so it's gone after about 6-7 hours. So, if you're watching this after the fact, I apologize in advance for that. I do not choose when those things go on sale. On that note, I will eventually be doing the 63 Corby DLC, probably once I get to the end of this part of the Let's Play. So again, thanks for watching. This has gone over way too long. Happy chemical engineering, reaction engineering. I forgot what I had said last episode already. Have fun. See you later. This has been Arthur D. Hitcham.